All right, someone gave me a challenge. The challenge is to list 5 benefits of awakening. So here we go. This isn't the usual type of video or answers I would give on a video, but I think it's valuable because it's a reasonable question. So the number one benefit of awakening is you get to address the most important thing there is to you. The most important question, the most important yearning, the most important prompting, that one part of yourself that you've always wanted to address or come in contact with, or that one part of life you've always wanted to address and come in contact with. Awakening gives you the opportunity. It gives you the means, or shows you the means, or it's just a word for the process of engaging that which is the most important thing for you, the most important thing in your life. That's what it's about. So that's one huge benefit because, you know, as they say, if you're not playing a big enough game, you might mess up the game you're playing just to give yourself something to do. So it gives you a true orientation in life, one that's not based on what other people have told you, not based on promises made by other people about what is going to make you happy or, you know, all of it. None of that. This is addressing something bigger than all of that, more fundamental, more real, and more intimate to you, more oriented to you, who and what you are. So that's the number one benefit of awakening. The number two benefit of awakening, these are in no particular order, particularly because I'm making them up as I go along, but the number two benefit of awakening is that you wake up to a much bigger bandwidth of experience. This is not just positive or pleasant experiences, but all experiences. The whole bandwidth of experience is dramatically increased. You could almost say it becomes sort of infinite. But in comparison to what came before, the mind, the identified mind, does one thing really well. It mitigates experience. It narrows your experience into something quite conceptual, very heady. It requires a lot of energy to do this, by the way. So it's an exhausting place to live, but it's a conveniently distracting place where we can distract ourselves from the wider experience of what's actually happening into this narrow experience of mind identification. So it's kind of a strange magic trick that happens. And when we dispel that magic trick, we experience a much wider bandwidth of experience of all types: emotion, consciousness, the sense fields, everything just opens up. So that's the number two benefit of awakening. The number three benefit of awakening is that it's compatible with everything, meaning it's not an either or proposition. To orient yourself to this, to orient yourself to the most important thing to you, to orient yourself to the most important thing in life, in your own instinct, in your own intuition, is compatible with everything. It's compatible with all other areas of your life. It opens up other areas of your life. So it's not a either or sort of decision. It's not an exclusion type of decision. May not even be a decision, but it's not to the exclusion of anything else. It's all inclusive, and it augments and expands your bandwidth for experience in all areas of your life. So that's the number three. The number four benefit of awakening is that awakening dispels falsity. It dispels delusion. It dispels illusion. It dispels distortions and fabrications. So it dispels all of what is not true. And that might sound great in one sense, and it is, but understand that the way that feels can be uncomfortable as we let go of all these fabrications, all these delusions, all these attachments, because they're all structured in consciousness, and yet identity is also structured in consciousness until it's clearly realized that identity doesn't actually exist, which takes time. But you're now truth-oriented, or you're oriented in such a way that falsity falls away, illusion falls away, distortions fall away. That's great. It's a huge benefit. The fifth most valuable aspect of awakening, or the benefit of awakening, is that awakening shows you something that was so hidden before. But again, very paradoxical and hidden in plain sight, but the unknown. I'm just going to call it the unknown. It shows you viscerally, experientially, what the unknown actually is. It wakes you up to a dimension that is beyond dimensions. It wakes you up to an experience that's beyond experiences. It wakes you up to a truth that is beyond anything you can state in words or talk about or think about. But you wake up to it. You are in direct contact with it. So even though you can't think about it or talk about it, it's very obvious, very obvious. So number 5 is awakening dispels illusion. I mean, that's a pretty good deal, right?